What's up guys, Julian here, and today I'm going to be showing you the much requested how to make Lock Club style electro techno. As usual, you can get the full project files, samples, MIDI, presets, literally everything from this video that you see right here, that you just heard in the intro, is available at the top of the description on my website. Go grab that. If you guys want me to make more requests like this one, definitely go grab that and support it. Plus you get this really awesome template that'll help you take your tracks to the next level. Again, link is at the top of the description. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. I don't make a whole lot just off of these videos, but with these templates and sample packs, I'm able to keep bringing you guys new videos every single day. So definitely go grab that. Thanks for the support, and let's dive in. So, we're at 137 BPM, actually a little bit faster, but with this style, I think it works really well. You know, the BPM, like a track sounding heavy, it's not just about the elements in the track sounding heavy, it's also about the speed the track is playing at. So the BPM actually plays into that. And the first thing we have up here is this Lin Kick. So this is a kick from a Lin drum. It's a famous drum machine, you guys probably know about it. And this is a kick that I've heard in a lot of the Lock Club tracks. So they use a lot of drum machine sounds from various different drum machines, like a lot of 808, 909, 707, Lin drum sounds, all those different machines. And basically, yeah, so this is just a Lin kick. You can see it's not really got any processing. You don't need that. You just get a good kick, turn it upright, and have it right on top of the mix. And it'll sit in there nicely. The next thing that I'm going to show you is actually going to be the bass line. So yeah, obviously very heavy, but what's happening is it's like these two different things. Really three different things. So, the first one is this. This bass. And so the way this is being made is, you can see it's just playing these long held out notes. We're in the key of D sharp. And then it's 3 layers of operator. And what's happening is it starts with this layer. So this one is, you can see, a sine wave, a saw wave, which is detuned a bit and up a few octaves, and then also this white noise. And then we're actually automating the volume of the noise and oscillator too. And then that's going into a chorus, this vocoder, which is on the formant setting, which also has an automation on the formant, you can see, and then a bit of an amp. So that's the first layer. Then we have the second layer, which is actually the exact same thing you just saw, duplicated, and then I took just the white noise. So we had one to kind of bring in a little bit more noise. And then this layer, which is a very simple respace, where we have just 2 saw waves here. You can see there's no FM happening inside of operator. Second one's detuned a little bit, and then we just have a low pass filter. Super simple. And then you put all 3 layers together. So then those are all going through this really short reverb, as well as a bit of amp and pedal. So actually turn those 2 off. And then with them. So you can see these 2 things are very subtle, but essentially what they're doing is they're just adding that extra like glue. Like, it really makes it feel like these 3 synths are all like one synth now that you have this. Then we just have a high end boost, and then actually a low end cut with this auto filter. And yeah, so that's it for the first bass. And the idea is really, it's not just about the sound design. The sound design really just serves the goal of creating what we're trying to create here, which is basically this one bass, which is going to be long and held out, juxtaposed against this more like punchy bass here, right? So that's being made with 2 layers. So we have this 808. And then we actually have the 707 tom on top of that. And then you can hear when you put them together, you get that sound. So yeah, this is actually pretty easy to make. Like you can see, the 808 just has a little bit of saturation on it. This is actually an 808 that's very common. It's called the Spins 808. If you know anything about trap production, you know this is kind of like overused at this point. Like this 808 if you were just trying to make like an 808 Mafia trap beat, for example, honestly, I think it's kind of been done a lot from what I know. But here, it works really well because it's just a really nice fat bass. And you can saturate it and kind of make it a little bit more your own. So that's a really good tip, guys. A lot of people think like when you're making these kind of basses, you have to make it from scratch with a synth and all that. Try using an 808. Download some hip-hop kits, like honestly, because it just gives you a certain texture that you couldn't get in the synth. And then what's happening is this is playing this MIDI. Right? Kind of like playing off of what that longer held out bass that I just showed you was doing. And then the 707 tom just plays some of the notes from that same exact MIDI that the 808's playing. And you can hear it creates this nice pattern. And then on the group of those two, we just have actually this EQ8 boosting the high end a bit to really bring out that like crunch, and then a bit of saturation. And then on the group with all of the basses, we just have a bit of drum bus, and this is not doing too much because you can see the dry wet's on 52, so it's being blended in there. But what's happening is it's just like what I was saying with the three basses here going into the distortion. This just kind of provides some glue, and it's going to make all of the basses feel like they fit into like one kind of thing, because that's going to be an issue. Like you could get this really close with the sound design, but if you don't have something like this where they're all getting kind of like crunched together like that, you're not going to get that cohesive sound. So that's very important. Then we have another high-end boost, and then just a compressor which side chains all of this to the kick. And yeah, and if you listen to the kick in the basses, that's a lot of what you're hearing in the track, right? Like if I take those out, it's very much all kind of fitting around those two elements, the kick and the basses. So I really recommend starting with that. Start with the kick, then get these bass sounds, then you can do all the other stuff. So the next thing we have here will be the drums. So, it's just two drum machines. It's the 606 and the 707. These are both of the core kits, like literally the ones that come with Ableton. So, you can do this with those as well. I think a lot of people think like you have to have these special like, oh, yeah, this is like a 909 or a 707 or a 606 where they put it through like some special analog gear. Like honestly, dude, just use the Ableton stuff. Because you can get it sounding really good. You can hear, like, I pitched this snare down a bunch so you get that nice, like, punchy kind of thing. I have everything going to a bit of drum bus and a short reverb, so that really gives it that character, but yeah. Totally doable with the Ableton stuff. I also think it's really nice sound design. The 606 snare pitch down sounds really good. And it fits over this beat really nicely too. So then we have these sounds, which are kind of like the background, like kind of fill-in effects that aren't really like effects in the sense of like a sweep or a crash or something like that, but it's just like all the stuff that's fitting over top of the bass line, basically. So, it starts with this little bass sound. Which if I play that with the bass line, so you can hear it just gives something subtle over top of that in this every like second time it comes around to just make it really catchy. So, this is made with Operator. It's 2 layers. We have this one. And this nice punchy. And then this one. Which is a bit higher. And that's what you get when you put them together. These are both made just with sine waves also. Like, you can see very simple sine wave FM stuff going on here. It's really just putting these in different octaves that's creating the sound. Then we have this amp, so here's without this. And then with it, a bit of echo, and then a high pass filter. Then we have this operator, like, kind of scream sound, which if you hear that in the beat, you can hear. So, this is actually an easy sound to make. What it is it's a white noise with an attack on it. So it kind of goes like into the sound, like fades in a little bit. And then we have this filter here, and it's a bandpass filter with a high resonance. We have the hard shaper all the way up, so you're getting that like real like screaminess out of it. And then we have some reverb, and then an amp, so even more distortion, and then a high pass filter, because if I turn that off, these sounds can have a lot of like nasty low end that you would want to get rid of. So you gotta make sure you do that, but yeah. Pretty simple sound. And then the last sounds here are these two, which kind of play together. And those are really just adding to what's going on in the bass line, like just having that little groove over top. Like over top of it like that, especially once you add in that other bass sound that I made. You can hear how it's all fitting together and creating one groove. And these are really simple too. Just a bit of distortion on some drum sounds. You know, this amp is really good for this style. Just getting like a lot of different characters of distortion. And yeah. So that's gonna be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full project file, samples, MIDI, presets. Literally everything from this video is available at the top of the description. If you want me to do more tutorials like this, or if you just want me to do more of you guys' requests like this one, definitely go grab this and help support me. I don't make a whole lot of YouTube, but I put a lot of work into these videos. So go grab that, help support me. It'll also help support yourself, making your best possible music. And yeah, thank you so much for the support, guys, and I will see you tomorrow with another video.